Let's rock. Doom Eternal, the one game that I've been so desperately waiting for a sequel for. I even built my own BFG 9000 in anticipation for it. So you know what? Let's raise hell. After playing through 2016, I wanted more. A lot more. While Doom 2016 is called a reboot, I'd say it's more of a revival that continues the story. And Doom Eternal even proves that Doom 2016 is a sequel to the original Doom games, which I'll get into later. Doom Eternal looks amazing. All the demons have been redesigned to look like their Doom and Doom 2 counterparts. The zombie men look like the shotgun zombies, the Mancubus looks like its Doom 2 counterpart, the Cyber Demon or Tyrant looks almost exactly like its Doom and Doom 2 incarnations. The Arachnotron is the one that looks slightly different, with its plasma cannon on the top instead of the bottom. Barons of Hell are a different color, but it says that they've actually evolved. Pinkies and Lost Souls, which those only spawn from pain elementals now. Imps and Revenants, they haven't changed that much. Cacodemons and Hell Knights have more noticeable details to them, because I noticed their differences way more than the previous four. Pain Elementals and Archviles make a return from Doom 2. I really applaud the effort that was put into making the demons look so good for this generation. And the areas that you go to resemble futuristic cities even when on Earth, or a combination of medieval times or ancient Rome when it comes to the Sentinel Prime planet, or the very alien looking Urdak. And even Hell looks so much more like Hell with the bright reds and lava and everything. However, there are times where I would see textures that I would expect to see on the PlayStation 2 or even PlayStation 1. I'm not sure if this was just a really slow loading texture or what, because they never corrected to higher resolution versions of themselves. And I'm running this game at 1440p and I don't know the frame rate, but it is buttery smooth. And the frame rate never stuttered. The music and sound is just as good as Doom 2016, and I think they even remade some of the original sounds from the old Doom games, as some of the doors opening have that familiar sound, and even some of the death sounds have that classic groaning. And when it comes to gameplay, it's an evolved form of its predecessor. If you're looking at it, you may think, well, it looks like Doom 2016, but it's a matter of feel, not look. The Doomslayer, to me, feels slower when he runs. I've heard some people say that he's about the same speed or that he's faster. But in this game, to me, he feels like an athlete running at full speed, not the noticeably enhanced human speed he had in 2016. But this is compensated with the dash maneuver. You can dash twice along the ground or in the air. I can see why he feels slower. If they kept his original speed and gave him the dash, the Doomslayer wouldn't be able to be touched at all. Ammunition is incredibly scarce. It surprised me when I would run out of ammo and the chainsaw would pop up automatically. And you start off with the chainsaw already as part of your equipment to compensate with the lack of ammo on the ground. And the chainsaw will always refill to at least one charge, allowing you to take out one of the fodder enemies to replenish your ammo. Gas canisters for the chainsaw are also pretty rare as well, and you only get a max of 3 charges. So you can take down 3 fodder enemies or one big one. And a few fodder enemies will always spawn after you clear out an area of demons, allowing you to farm them for resources. Basically, you're pressing chainsaw to reload. Health pickups are also rare, and even the big medical packs don't refill that much, so it's better just to glory kill your enemies. And the glory kills are way more slapstick than they were in 2016, like smashing a zombie's head into its chest, or the expression of horror on a pain elemental when you stab it in the eye through its mouth and pull the doom blade back into its socket. And some of the expressions are just near cartoonish, which is always nice to see because it adds a very macabre humor to the game. You get a flamethrower that lights enemies on fire and makes them drop armor pickups. I don't think that this can kill them, but attacking enemies who are on fire will make them drop even more armor. Other than that, if you just let them stay on fire, it's a little bit of a trickle.
There's also a larger emphasis on exploration. There's lots of secrets and collectibles to find, and I mean there are a lot of them. And with this new and improved exploration, there's also new ways to explore. You can swing on bars, climb walls, punch through walls, and it's all very fun and satisfying. All the Doomslayer needs now is a wall run, and doing all this exploration is also really rewarding. You'll find toys of the demons, which allows you to access their models for viewing, play music in the Fortress of Doom, and there's cheat codes to use if you decide to go back and repeat a mission. Difficulty is weird in how they set it up. The very first level has arachnotrons and cacodemons, and they're thrown at you pretty liberally, seemingly more so than imps. The normal difficulty hurt me plenty, feels like ultra-violence mode from Doom 2016. I actually got stuck in an area on the third mission because it just overwhelms you with demons. Luckily, you can adjust the difficulty on the fly, which is nice, because there's times that this game can be brutal, and the reason for this is because of how the demons were retooled. In Doom 2016, you could just power your way through the game. There was an emphasis on keep moving forward. You didn't need to think, you just shoot stuff until it died. Pinky demons being the only one requiring some sort of strategy. In Doom Eternal, that's not the case, because they created what they called Destructible Demons, and they're categorized into 3 camps: fodder, heavy, and super heavy. Anything that is not fodder has weak points in how you can deal with them. For example, arachnotrons, revenants, and the mancubus can have their cannons shot off, which sort of works, but it slows you down as you try to aim for those weak points to make the fights easier. Boss encounters continually spawn demons, mostly fodder so you can keep replenishing your resources. Sometimes a heavy unit spawns though, and there's 2 bosses that become regular enemies. The Doom Hunter, which is a demon that moves around on a hover sled and is shielded, but he's actually not that hard. The other is the Marauder, which is one of the most out of place enemies I've ever seen in a game. Marauders do not belong in Doom at all, because they require the most strategy. If you're too far, they throw projectiles. If you're too close, they use a super shotgun. You have to stay within a certain distance. They move fast, dodge at a speed that's practically a teleport. They block with a shield and constantly summon a dog that runs very fast in an erratic pattern around the area and attacks you. And you can only attack them when their eyes flash green, and they do a melee attack. And you need to use a fast weapon, preferably a hit scan type of weapon like the super shotgun, as projectile type weapons are too slow and they'll put their shield up almost instantly after they attack. When these spawn, you have to save them for last. But the point is, they really break the flow of the game. So much so that when they appear, it feels like the game grinds to a screeching halt. I would much rather deal with Archviles, who not only resurrect dead demons, but power them up as well and make them faster like a buff totem, which is an item that occasionally appears in some arenas. You can also find a lot of 1-ups, and they revive you upon death, but I've had some fights drain them and they do not respawn. So once you pick it up, that's it. There's upgrades like runes and sentinel crystals that will enhance your abilities, and you'll have to try to miss these. Even if they are hidden, the levels are designed in a way that they're behind a wall that you can punch. It'll be right in front of you so that way you cannot miss it. Predator tokens, on the other hand, mostly easy to get. I have missed a few, but I did get most of them. I think that the hardest thing for me to find was either the Slayer Gates or the Slayer Gate Key. If I found one, I usually did not find the other. Gore nests also reappear, but they act as additional challenges. I only did one of them, but failed it. It was more of a timed puzzle kind of thing. It didn't really tickle my fancy. And unlike Doom 2016, where you could ignore the story and just keep going, you could stop and watch things progress, but that was optional. Doom Eternal is way more story focused, and by a lot. There are cutscenes which, like the Marauder enemy, break the flow of the game, but I didn't mind so much as it was really nice to see the story unfold. And this game pretty much confirms my theory about the Doom Marine that I made in my Doom 2016 review. So if you want to see that theory, go watch that one. A lot of the story here is told through codex entries, and some things that Samuel Hayden will tell you. So if you wanted the details of what's going on, you'll have to go through the codex, but it's not necessary, because there's nothing that happens that makes you say, wait, what? And unlike Doom 2016 where you keep going, after every mission, minus the last 3 of this game, you return to something called the Fortress of Doom, which is the Doomslayer's home base. In it, you can unlock extra upgrades, even new suits of armor for the Slayer, but they're cosmetic only. You can even have the original Doomarine outfit or the Predator suit from 2016. You could also view all the toy collectibles that you found, which also grants access to the model viewer. That way you can see the demons up close and personal without them trying to tear your face off. You could also play music that you found in secret areas. You could take a look at your weapons. You can also go to the demon prison, which allows you to fight demons. Is Doom Eternal better than Doom 2016 though? I don't think I can answer that. It's basically comparing apples to oranges. While a sequel, it feels very different than its predecessor, especially with how they want you to manage resources and the larger emphasis on platforming and exploration. But either way, you are going to be having a lot of fun ripping and tearing.
Doom Eternal is very much the cutting edge of gaming right now. It's everything you wanted and more. Holy crap, is this thing heavy.